Joining us now is Democratic Senator from New Mexico, Tom Udall, part of that band of senators trying to change the system. Senator Udall, welcome to the program. How are your efforts being received?
Thank you, Dylan. Good to be with you today.
It's a pleasure to have you here. What do they think about all this crazy talk from you guys?
Well, I don't think it's very crazy talk. I mean, what we're talking about is going back to the Constitution. Basically, the Constitution says that both the Senate and the House may determine the rules of their proceedings. And so we're just asserting a constitutional right, I call it the constitutional option, to, at the beginning of every Congress, to, by a majority vote, adopt rules. It's what the House has been doing since the very beginning of our constitutional system here in America. The Senate started out this way. Somehow we've gotten off track, so we need to change it.
Former Majority Leader Trent Lott had this to say about this, and it was addressed to the, quote, young and hot-blooded senators, and I'll quote again, "Be careful what you do. You could have it used against you." What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are that the best thing for the American people is to have a system that works for all of us and works for the American people. Right now, the system is being abused. Trent Lott knows how it was abused. He abused it a lot himself, except we've reached an extreme point right now. We have had 112, this is talking now about the filibuster, 112 filibusters in the year before, the Congress before we're in right now. So that's more filibusters than all the 1950s and 60s put together. And we're going to break that record in this Congress that we're in. That's not acceptable. We got to get the work done for the American people. And so some of us who have come over here are picking various rules to work on, and I think you've named them all, and there's some pretty good changes in there.
Senator, do you actually believe that with your coalition and your ability to expand it, that you can affect any of the change that you're arguing for?
Well, I think we are gaining momentum every day. When you have the leader of the Senate, Harry Reid, basically saying we're going to take a hard look at the rules at the beginning of the next Congress. He's talking the constitutional option. He didn't put it in those terms, but I think he sent a warning shot to the Republicans. You know, you guys are abusing the rules. This is out of line. We're going to have to change the rules at the beginning of a Congress, which is what we're allowed to do under the Constitution.
Listen, Senator Udall, keep us posted. Again, anything done to improve the process to get to actual solutions as opposed to playground fighting is welcomed by, I think, most everyone in this country.
Dylan, that's exactly what I want to do, and I hope some Republicans will join us in this effort. Many of them in the past have signed on to some of these proposals. So this isn't a partisan thing. It's trying to make the Senate work better for the American people, and I think both Democrats and Republicans would be proud.
Senator Tom Udall, thanks for the conversation. We do appreciate it. Thank you, sir. And from the process of Washington to the process on Wall Street, it is no secret to you and I that for well over a year, myself and many others have been calling on the Federal Reserve to show us what the trillions of dollars in bailout money were given in exchange for. Remember, we gave $700 billion out of the TARP, but we gave trillions of dollars out of the Federal Reserve in exchange for the banks giving us so-called toxic assets, and the Federal Reserve has been loath to show us what they received in exchange for all of your money. Some of you might even recall yours truly using a trash bag to demonstrate the secrecy surrounding the Fed's bailout of toxic assets. You don't see that every day at Harvard Business School. Banks got trillions in exchange. We, of course, got a bag full of God knows what, but effectively it was loans that were made for homes and credit cards and buildings that may or may not ever be paid back. And today we are finally learning more about what's in